everybody?
Fantastic. How are you?
Not too bad.
You look great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I'm a little tense.
Why
You
that?
ask me something I can't answer,
Never.
then I'll have to fake it.
Look, I would ask you something.
God
Go
can
ahead.
answer anything
What is the one question that you've never been asked before?
that you would like to be asked.
That you would like to be asked and you would like to answer?
No such thing.
What are you doing next?
Next, I'm going to be working with another icon. I get to scratch another actor off my bucket list. I'm going to be doing a movie called Transcendence with Johnny Depp.
When is this scheduled to be released?
He just got a movie in the movie.
Studios will decide that sometime later on, I'm sure. And I don't
Which
know if
studio
it-
is involved?
Can't tell you.
Warner's.
How about,
Don't tell them I did that.
Corey, any chance you might work with Frank Darabont again? Anytime soon, possibly? Maybe?
Why are you asking?
Because you work so great together.
Well, I don't know if he's still directing.
That's a bummer.
What director do you particularly like working with?
Which director
Which director?
do I particularly like working with? Well, we start with Clint. Then we'll go to Rob Reiner. Then we'll go to Phil Alden Robinson. Then we'll go to Louis Leterrier. And we'll go to,
I was going to name them all.
that's all the people I remember working with.
Have you got aspirations to direct? Like
Aspirations? No.
Can you talk a little bit about Now You See Me?
About who?
Now You See Me, the movie that's coming out.
Now You See Me?
Yes.
Extraordinary. I saw it yesterday. It's gonna knock the socks off. It's a really exciting movie. Lots of great stuff in there. Really, that was Louis Leterrier's.
Next up, we have the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award, Harrison Ford.
Now that's an icon.
Yes. That's it. Hi.
How are you?
Hi.
Were you surprised of how well your film was accepted last week at America's box offices?
No, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was an important story, and I thought it was worth telling again, or exposing young people that really didn't know the story to a bit of our history. And I was pleased by how it came out, and of course I was very gratified by the reception that it's had.
What do you think about the attention from the White House for the story?
It doesn't hurt. The First Lady was very gracious about the film. She hosted a reception for Jackie Robinson scholars from across the country who had a screening of the film, and then there was a press conference or a question and answer session, and she was very gracious. The president was very gracious about the film. They had seen it on the weekend and were very positive about it.
What can you tell us about the new Star Wars films that are released?
Tom Solo.
You talking to me?
Are you a big fan of the industry?
You talking to me?
Anything? Any
Huh?
nuggets?
Anything, yes, anything.
Are you a big fan of the Ender's Game? Were you always a big fan of the Ender's Game? Not Star Wars.
No, I didn't know the book before I read the script. So I really came to the project through the script.
And is it easier to approach a project fresh without having the book in the back of your mind?
Through a book, sometimes it's more difficult because books are books and movies are movies, and they're not always, the same craftsman is not always involved. This is, I think it's a very interesting book, And the film, I think is going to be great.
What was it
anything?
about the script that you really liked? What was it about Entertain's script that's apart from everything else?
I just thought it was something we have not seen. I thought the story was prescient about some of the things we're seeing in our lives right now. It was written 20 years ago, I guess. I thought it had a interesting moral question behind it, which is articulated in the film. And I thought it would really be a good summer movie on top of that.
Is there anything happening with the Indiana Jones movie?
You talking to me? And Chris Pine will be in here shortly. You can ask him.
Let's tap dance around. Tap dance.
Lifetime Achievement Award.
Huh?
How do you feel about winning the Lifetime Achievement Award tonight?
Was anybody else up for it? I mean, how do you win a Lifetime Achievement Award?
Okay,
I didn't know I was sick. Yes.
Clearly, I know you're tired of the Star Wars question. Everyone's asking you that. But let me ask you this. I love your work in Regarding Henry. I think it's one of your very best performances. And I know that J.J. Abrams wrote that script. So were you, just as an actor and a fan even, were you excited when you heard that he got the Star Wars job?
Are you,
I'm not asking you if you're coming back.
is this a yes and no question? Yeah, I was very happy for JJ. I think he's a fantastic director, terrific guy. And are you talking to me?
Okay, I'll fight.
Have you worked with such a young cast in Ender's Game?
I've worked with young people before. I have had children of my own. I'm familiar with shorter people.
Next we have the Cinemacon Comedy Duo of the Year, Vince Vaughn, Vaughn Wilson.
This is what we've been waiting for.
It's great to be back at Caesar's Palace.
Great to have you here.
I feel like I'm selling something up here. This is a fantastic stage.
It's so relaxing, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. This is a comfortable environment to talk about the film. How are you? Enough about us. How are you? Very good. Very good.
Okay, I'm going
Tell
to
us
start
about the
by
film.
asking, how can you guys get this award when you have a movie out last year?
There was a little film called Wedding Crashers that some of you might have seen, and
That was a couple years ago.
that seems to have a
It's
little bit of
still
firepower.
DVD,
Yes,
DVD,
and
still
that's right.
So why'd you get back together for internship? What was it about this one?
Mortgages.
made sense.
Money.
Can you talk about a little bit about Google's involvement in shooting this?
Google's involvement? Yeah. Well, Google, I remember when Vince had this idea and was working on it and called me up and was telling me about it and set it up for us to go to Google.
That was fun.
And it was like, you know, you kind of walk into this place and it couldn't have been friendlier. It didn't seem like a place that I would get work done. I think you have to have a lot of like self-discipline to work at a place like that. It seemed more like kind of like, you know, a class where it was like you figure out your own curriculum. And I did better with kind of a kick in the pants. I was one of those players.
Google was great. You know, for me, I thought the concept of the film is that I unfortunately know a lot of people who were losing their jobs, and not just losing their jobs, but the jobs that they were doing kind of not being in demand. And at the same time, I saw all the 60 Minutes and other things where Google was concerned, where it looked like it was really thriving. They were inventing stuff. It looked like there was good salaries. And they were living the dream. They're out playing Quidditch and eating food and taking naps. And it seemed very different. So the process was to think of two guys who had kind of hit up against the wall, but still had some hope that something could happen for them. And it seemed like a fun playground to go to for them to sort of take a shot at something different, a career versus a job. And the guys at Google were really great. They had a sense of humor about themselves. They laughed. They
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You were saying this.
I'm just standing in front of one of these, or should I stand up?
There.
You were saying this Captain Kirk is a little different than the last film. How
Yeah.
so?
Well, in the first one, you know, he was a kid.
and I think he got the.
We have the Cinemacon Male Star of Tomorrow, Army Hammer.
Right on, man.
Now, you work with Johnny Depp and Leonardo DiCaprio. Is there anybody else that you would love to work with?
I would love to take any job with anybody, to be perfectly honest. No, I think yeah, there's a good list of people I'd love to work with. And it's just anybody who's talented, anybody who loves their work, who loves their job, and enjoys it at the same time. You know, this is a fun process that we get to do. It's kind of like living in an imaginary world, and you should really just enjoy it. So it's nice to work with people who really enjoy it, like Gore and Johnny, who those guys have been doing it for so long and still love it. It's like that's the kind of guy I think you should try to work with.
This is your first big action movie, so how was it?
I wasn't at all familiar with, I'd heard of the book, I hadn't read it. So after I signed up to do the project, I had read the first book, and am so interested in taking the time to read all the others. There's quite a few, and if I had the time, I would definitely read them all. I'm a huge fan of the series.
I love your outfit. What are you wearing?
Thank you. It's Valentina.
Wow.
Thank you.
But you also have another huge movie coming out this year.
I do.
So talk about tackling that iconic role.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
I loved you on the Gilmore Girls. Loved you.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Bye-bye. She's got a pretty face. She's beautiful.
All right. Up next, we have the
Elizabeth
recipient of the Award of Excellence in Acting, Elizabeth Banks.
Gorgeous dress.
Just so you get a good look.
How much fun was it getting back into the Hunter Games character again?
Oh man, I love Effie so much. She's so fun, and we had such amazing just hair, makeup, and costumes this time around were like off the charts. I'm wearing a ton of couture. I literally I wear a dress. Maybe am I even allowed to say some of this stuff? I'm wearing a dress at one point that's made out of 10,000 feathers that were hand painted, each feather, to look like a monarch butterfly.
Wow.
Like crazy pieces of art that I couldn't sit in, couldn't eat in, couldn't walk in. So I would go to set in these weird, they made me sort of like weird underoos kind of things, and I would go to set in embarrassingly, and then in front of like 1,000 extras be like, yep, hang on guys, I'm just gonna get dressed in front of everybody, and then Effie would be put together. Really amazing stuff this time. Hello.
Hi.
How are you? I'm great.
Can you tell us a little bit about the MTV Awards? What happened?
Well, I'm really excited to talk about the to-do list. But I can say that I did not have sexual relations with that woman. That's all I'm going to say.
So tell us about the to-do list. What should we go see? Why do we need to see this movie?
The to-do list...
Wow, feels like a comedy situation. All right, what can we?
All right, man. Talk about directing, because Don John's Addiction's awesome. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
A lot of people haven't seen it yet. But it's
Don John, just keep doing it, and you'll know when it's time to like make a feature film. But that doesn't have to be right away.
Thank you.
This is the most fun part. All right. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations.